Hey everybody, it's BDF44 hitting you up with another video. And what I want to say today is, what if he goes down with an injury? Clearly, the Lakers are trying to trade just about anybody for AD, and that's pretty much at this point. I'm hearing it's imminent. While I'm not down on the fact that we're going to be bringing AD in, of course not. AD is one of the greatest players in the league, one of the most talented players of all time. The things that he can do statistically from just about every category is nothing short of monstrous. So I know what type of talent we're bringing in. We're an immediate contender. And if we're able to bring in another player with him, like Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, someone like that, that puts us at the top of the Western Conference, up there with the Warriors and the Nuggets and whomever else may be up there. We're going to be one of the top, I'd say, 4 teams in the league. My concern is that we are going to deplete ourselves of young talent, a bench, assets that will give us any type of security going forward after his 1-year deal is up, which is at the end of next summer. KD just went down with an injury. God bless him. Obviously, we know how these injuries go. He is probably going to miss the entire season. KD, 30 years old. I think AD is probably about 20. I want to say like 26. I'm not really sure. Somewhere in his mid to late 20s. So investing in him is a pretty good investment in general. But my concern is that it's a 1-year deal. What if he does go down with an injury this season? Everything that we've traded for, bye-bye. If he's out for the season at, say, February, we traded all of this for half a season of AD. Mind you, 2020 it has no part in this conversation in regards to the trade. No one should be mentioning anything about 2020. Why? Because in 2020, he's an unrestricted free agent. Meaning if we don't have it within our plans to force him, more or less, to sign with us an extension before the trade takes place, if we don't already have that agreement in place, that means he's going to enter free agency, which he will likely do. He'll want to enter free agency. It's just what players like to do. He hasn't faced free agency at all. You really sure he's going to be happy with the LeBron James circus? Are you sure he's going to be in the best spot for himself come 2020? You think that anything short of a championship will have him looking elsewhere? Especially with everything that's going on with this front office. Why is everyone so certain that he's going to stay by his word and say, sign with the Lakers in 2020? How do you know? And that's why I don't make this trade. I understand that the media and the fans and everybody who doesn't truly understand basketball in terms of the cap and how it all plays in part into how teams are structured will of course want AD on their team at this price. They don't know any better. Someone like myself really does. This is a bad decision. I'm telling you, because he is not under contract for under any more than a year. It's 1 year. And that means, as I always say, it will require cash to keep him. Meaning, just because you didn't give away Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and everything else worth anything to get this dude, you still have the same chances of signing him in 2020 or not signing him in 2020 regardless. He's going to enter free agency. I don't care what he says. This is Rich Paul we're dealing with. He is going to enter free agency. And when he does, he's going to look at New York, he's going to look at Brooklyn, and he's going to look at us. And he's going to look at the Clippers down the hall. And if this doesn't go right, and he bolts, we're going to be without assets. Nothing. We're going to have nothing to show for it. The Pelicans will be us, and we will see what they do with Zion Williamson and all of our pieces. We will see how good we were. But y'all can go ahead and support this stupid stuff, man. Go for it. I'm looking forward to AD being a Laker. Don't get it twisted. And if we can keep him in 2020, I'm happy. If we can put a good team around the man, I'm happy. But if we don't, and we're probably trying to sign another free agent like Kemba Walker, if we can't do nothing but put Kemba Walker, LeBron James, and AD together, and AD bounces, you better hope that cap space is going to be worth something to y'all. You better hope LeBron James ain't looking to leave too. You'll be stuck with nothing but Kemba Walker. We'll be the Charlotte Hornets. Y'all keep playing, man. Y'all keep playing around. I'm try. That's why I make these videos, because I try to explain to people the stuff that I've studied over the years. Watching the NBA, man, it's not as simple as just putting teams together. The salary cap makes it impossible to just get whatever you want. If you're gonna have these superstars, you're gonna have to find talent in small places. You're gonna have to find players in the back of the draft and guys that aren't gonna take a whole lot of money to play important roles. And we see how that works when you don't have depth. Golden State is struggling. But y'all go ahead, man. How healthy do you think AD is going to be? That's the question I have for every fan. You don't think that he's going to get injured? Y'all better look at that man's history. And that goes for just about everybody on the free agency list, if I'm being completely honest. Most of these guys are, they've had their bouts with injuries. So when you pay them a big portion of your cap, 60% of your cap or whatever it's going to require, you better understand and you got to fill in the talent in other spots. You better fill it in. You better find draft picks, and we're giving ours away. You better find young players, because that's what's going to help us run up and down the floor when those guys are tired and injured. You're giving them all away. When you don't have to do any of that, you compare AD with whatever you have and just make the cap work by giving maybe one or two kids away later on if you don't want to re-sign them. You could trade them by the midway point if that's what's required, but you don't give them away for a piece that you can get back a year from now without having given up anything. You don't do that. That's bad math. That's all I'm saying. But hey, if AD comes, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for us. But you better bring us a ring, and you better stay, or it's all going to shit. Remember I told you, BDF.